Do you guys want to hear Diz spit some rhymes? Diz, spit some rhymes. Let's do it. Let's hear it. Go, go, go.
I can't do bars. I'm sorry.
Just spit some rhymes. Do that one rap you were doing earlier. Just do it. Just do it. Come on, Diz. Do it. Diz.
All right, you go first. You warm things up.
No. You said you wanted to do it once the game started. Diz.
I'm the DJ. I need a maestro. Where's my maestro at?
Definitely not here, bro. Do you think Jake Jensen will do some? Jake can spit some rhymes.
He's got it. He's ready. He just wants an instrumental.
I heard Jake Jensen can do a mean Warren G.
What do you know about Uncle Warren? I'll show you some Uncle Warren.
And once again, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Rio Tinto Stadium. Your Real Monarchs versus the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. Your Monarchs are on quite a tear. Second place in the USL. Amanda, here is your song. You're so welcome. Amanda, can we please see your hands clap?
Somebody save your soul, 'cause you've been sinning in the city. I know too many troubles, all these lovers got you losing.
Amanda, clap your hands. James Singer. James Singer, please clap your hands. Thank you, James.
'Cause you don't even know. I can
make your hands clap. Everybody.
I can make your hands clap. Somebody save your soul, 'cause you've been sinning in the city. I know too many troubles, all these lovers got you losing control. You like a drug to me, a luxury, my sugar and gold. I want your sex and your affection when they're holding you close. 'Cause you don't even know. I can make your hands clap. Said I can make your hands clap. Every night when the stars come out, am I the only living soul around? Need to believe you could hold me down, 'cause I'm in need of something good right now. We could be screaming till the sun.
Can we get security to escort that kid out of here for dabbing on the Jumbotron, please?
I can make your hands clap.
And if anyone can find Theo the Lion, if anyone knows where Theo the Lion is, we'll, you can keep that side.
I'm like a stranger.
and the Bebops as they perform our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Fans, welcome into Rio Tinto Stadium for this Rocky Mountain rivalry tonight between these two wonderful teams, Real Monarchs versus the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. Tonight should be an exciting one. Both teams coming off games this past week. Colorado coming off a quick turnaround. But the only loss for the Monarchs this season, guys, is Colorado Springs. Taryn Meyer, Carla Haslam, I'm Landon Southwick for the call of tonight's game. Thank you for tuning in with us. Guys, we have an exciting Western Conference matchup on our hands.
No, it's definitely going to be a great game. The Switchbacks bringing a lot of talent and a lot of experience to the field. You're going to see Ricardo Perez playing on the pitch. He's alone from the Colorado Rapids. So be expected to find that sort of experience and leadership to be out there on the field.
From the Monarchs side, talent and a senior member of the squad down with the Monarchs today.
Yeah, Monarchs, you can't really ask for a hotter team in the league right now. Everybody's saying they're the most exciting team to watch. Right now, they've scored in every single game that they've played in this year. They lead the USL with 20 goals, and they're the second team behind San Antonio to have 7 wins in their first 8 games this year. So right now, they're confident, they're healthy, and they're on a roll.
Monarchs enter tonight's match 7-1-0 on the season with 21 points, sitting second in the Western Conference, just behind San Antonio FC. Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC enter tonight's match 3-3-4 with 13 points, but sitting just barely below the Monarchs in 4th position. Let's jump to the starting lineup of both squads.
Starting with the away side in Colorado Springs, Poiti in goal. Suggs out wide on the left. Ibusi and Phillips will be the center back pairing. Jordan Burt out wide right. At right back, Argueta, your captain. Prue in the middle. Perez, Malcolm, King, and Catcher. And then for the home side, one change from their last 2 games, and that's first teamer, Real Salt Lake first teamer Tony Beltran coming in, slotting in at the right back slot. He's got 224 appearances for the first team. Gallagher, Moberg, Lakawecki, Beasler, Adams, Sebastian Velasquez. Talk about a guy on fire and a man on a mission. Daniel Haber, Andrew Brody, and up top, Chandler Hoffman, and in goal with a 224-minute shutout streak currently, Connor Sparrow.
Or as Landon Southwick has currently nicknamed him, Captain Connor, I guess we could say Captain Jack Sparrow, right? With the new movie coming out now. Connor Sparrow doing an excellent job back in the box. And it's been fun to see his confidence over the last couple of games really change. I mean, his first game this season, you know, you could see he's a little tentative to start organizing his defense. But now he's the man in charge of the field. He can see the field. And he's not afraid to call out his teammates and tell them when to get up on a post on a corner kick or when to stay marked up on their player.
Colorado coming off a victory, Colorado Springs, coming off a victory, a 2-0 victory against Tucson FC in the Open Cup on Wednesday night. A good victory for them, but an 11 that's not essentially playing tonight, so a different 11 for them in that game. 16 teams in the USL advance to that 3rd round. As we're almost underway, Joseph Dickerson is the center referee for tonight's match. Daniel Spicer Escalante, Christy Mack, are the two ARs, and Brad Jensen is the fourth official on a beautiful night here at the Riot. We can't get it any better than this for Monarch Soccer. We're underway. Nick Beasler's going to get it, looking for to Hoffman. Decent ball. Will be cleared away by Colorado Springs. Beasler's been that kind of engine this season, protecting the back four, and they've done a good job of protecting that back four. Ball's just outside the air, takes a deflection. Looks like it's gonna win the first corner of the match for for the Monarchs.
You know, Landon, you mentioned that Open Cup. We forgot to mention Pascal Ibusi for the Colorado Springs Switchbacks, and a Cameroon native, played excellent in that game. Just a very physical presence, and I have no doubt on this corner kick coming here that he's going to be doing the same thing.
Adams will take it. Looking to the back post, no one home. Still in the area. Sebastian Velasquez will play it back to Tony Beltran.
Well done there from Velasquez to pick up that second ball. You find him out wide.
Velasquez out wide with his creative ability. He's a guy that's very capable of dancing around defenders and creating opportunities out of nothing. Quickly taken. Tony looking inside. Ball returned to him. Hoffman's going to chase it down. Good job by Colorado to clear. They're in their all whites. Monarchs in their cobalt kits.
Beltran doing a good job of sticking his foot in there. One of the soccer fundamentals that they tell defenders is you don't have to win the ball. You just have to be able to get a foot in there or make it predictable for your teammates, and that's exactly what happened. He shifts the Switchbacks player, kind of makes it predictable, and it allows for his defender to later come and get the ball.
King settles to Malcolm. Malcolm looking to Argueta, to Perez. To Burt. Good defense there by the Monarchs to close up shop. Looking forward to Hoffman. Game so far lacking the flow, as Gallagher's going to step up and clear things all the way back in the defensive area of Colorado Springs. Headed back to Poati.
Landon, you talked about the flow of the game. I think it'll take a few minutes for these two teams to really settle down and get their feel for the game. And, you know, this is kind of a rivalry game. Switchbacks FC, the only team to beat the Monarchs this season. Monarchs are playing with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, as well as
Sebastian Velasquez inside the area, be cut off and skinned of the ball. Ball still inside the area. Colorado Springs struggling to clear it. It'll be knocked out for a throw-in. Sorry to cut you off there, Taryn. Be another throw in there for the Monarchs. Tony will take the throw in, looking to Andrew Brody. Andrew Brody takes it to the corner, is gonna try to cross it in. Argueta there. And it'll be cleared up the wing quickly by Colorado Springs. Beasler's fouled from behind, just at the midfield stripe. We'd like to welcome those of you watching in from Colorado Springs at Jack Quinn's Pub, the Irish pub, having a watch party tonight. Wish we were there having some food with you guys.
Oh, well, we're glad you're watching us. If you have any comments, let us know how the game's going or what you think. Be sure to let us know at Landon Southwick, Carla Swenson Haslam, and Taryn Meyer. And for those Monarchs fans out there as well, we'd like to hear what you like to think. It's been an excellent season, and the fan base has been excellent as well. So let us know your thoughts.
Gallagher to Lakawecki. Left side of the midfield, for the attack for the Monarchs has been excellent all season long, with Haber wreaking a lot of havoc on that left side as he's able to get up into the attacking third, trying to get around the good defense of Joey Burt.
And you know, the thing, Landon, that I think adds to how dangerous the Monarchs have been is their versatility. Most teams have one star that seems to score all their goals or get all the assists, but the Monarchs really have such a versatile team where players can play in different positions and accept different roles on the field, and it's allowed for many different players to be dangerous in the attacking third. 11
different players have scored for the Monarchs this season out of the 26, including 6 coming down from Real Salt Lake on loan this season. 5th minute of play, we're still scoreless. Colorado Springs moving from south to north as Moberg slips there, but Gallagher's there to clean it up. Beasler looking forward to Hoffman. Hoffman's going to win it. Trying to get it to Velasquez, and he'll be fouled from behind.
Well done there from Hoffman to check out wide, see a little bit of the ball, get a few touches on it, and try and spring the attack forward.
Seeing the replay here, Phillips sticking his leg in, trying to get anything he can. Again, as we stated earlier, trying to make it predictable for the play, but comes in a little too late for that foul.
Haber can't settle on that left side. He had a phenomenal game last week against Sacramento FC, scoring a goal.
And it's kind of funny. The Monarchs have been so used to playing back-to-back games 1 or 2 days after each other. This week, they've been given an entire week to prep and prepare.
Haber's in the area. Haber plays it back, looking for Brody. Brody's shot's deflected. Colorado dodges a bullet.
A little bit of laziness there from Burt as he lets Haber just coast right by him, and very lucky for Switchbacks FC that Brody wasn't able to get a firm touch on that ball and put it towards net.
Kind of an awkward angle coming back from the touchline, but a good opportunity early on for the Monarchs. Haber looking into Lakawecki. Lakawecki's touch lets him down there, and it's long and into the waiting arms of Puati. Haber's a guy you have to watch out for on that left side. He's capable of getting in behind defenses all night long. Played high and long. Gallagher's going to win it. Haber will settle. Looking for Velasquez. Colorado will maintain possession. Switchbacks, like we mentioned, 3-3-4 on the season, 13 points, sitting in 4th place in the Western Conference. A quality side, and a side that's led by Steve Tritschuh, a guy that played in the 1988 Olympics as well as the 1990 World Cup for Team USA. He's led the team to back-to-back playoff appearances as well as top 3 regular season finishes.
Talk about invaluable and priceless experience leading the side full of young guys. Can't ask for much more than that.
And knowing how to react under pressure. I mean, that's what a lot of these USL players are learning to do. They want to play in the big leagues. They want to be an MLS player. And the first part to that is knowing how to play under pressure. And it's, again, invaluable is the right word to describe a coach that can teach his players that.
Connor Sparrow, the ball at his feet. He's has 2 consecutive shutouts for the Monarchs this season. Talked about it in the past, but he's a goalkeeper on the field, saving goals, but also a nurse, which is impressive. Shows that brain that he has there.
Saving lives off the field, right?
Yeah. Colorado Springs moving forward. Ball too long for King. King's a guy that's capable of finding the back of the net. 10 years as a pro. 2 goals, 2 assists this season. And a guy that has some speed, and there's players that can serve those balls into him. Gallagher, the University of Washington product. Hit that one over the head of Lakawecki. Be another throw-in for Colorado Springs.
If you look at the way the Monarchs are shifting, both defensively and then when they go on the counter attack, if you look at the midfield, anybody can play in that midfield at any given position. For example, if Nick Beasler steps in to an attacking role, Sebastian Velasquez can drop in just seamlessly. And that's, again, Mark Briggs, head coach Mark Briggs drives that issue. You have to be fit and you have to have the soccer IQ to play in this sort of system. And thus far this season, they have been fantastic at that.
Moberg and Gallagher, both University of Washington products. I think it might have something to do with GM Craig Weibel being an assistant coach up there in Seattle at the University of Washington. Beautiful campus. Right there on Lake Washington. Moberg back to Beasler. To Gallagher. Back to Beasler.
You talk about Moberg and Gallagher. They've played every single minute for the Monarchs this season, along with Max Lakowecki, and they have been fantastic. A few goals to their name as well.
Tony with the nice move there. Brody. He'll slow things up for the Monarchs. Monarchs look content to keep possession tonight. They're a high-pressing team, something that's unique about them in this season. The last 2 seasons under Freddie Wires were very content from building from the back, and he was really part of building that foundation. Now under Coach Mark Briggs, you're seeing a team that likes to press a lot higher and apply pressure.
Yeah, and it's been working. I mean, there are some teams, depending on the chemistry, where that's not the style of play that you want. But for the Monarchs, they have those attacking players. As you can see right now, the Monarchs coming up under the ball. Good look, looking forward, but Poitiers gets it before Striker's able to get to it. But what I was saying is that they're able to play high pressure because they have that fitness that Taryn mentioned, and because the chemistry of the team is one where they know how each other plays. Unlike the past couple of seasons, this lineup has been very, very consistent, which shows that this team's not only developed a chemistry playing with each other, but they've developed a formation and a style that's, well, been very valuable. They've scored a lot of goals, 20 goals in 8 games.
The only team that they haven't scored multiple goals on is the team wearing white tonight. In a game back in April, on April 15th, the only loss for the Monarchs in this 2017 season. Sun setting mostly here on the pitch. Connor Sparrow's box lightly still has a strip of sun in it. Beautiful 71 degrees. Tony's going to be fouled from behind by Malcolm.
No argument there for Malcolm. Comes in very late on Tony, as Tony just sees that ball out.
He gets a light warning there from Joseph Dickerson. Beasler's passing looks to be just a touch off tonight. Look for him to correct things. Lakowecki looking forward to Hoffman. He'll go forward along that left wing against Burt. Trying to cross it in and will win a corner for the Monarchs. Their second of the match.
Chandler Hoffman riding that fine line of the Switchbacks FC back line, trying not to get caught off sides. I think Max Lakowecki kind of thought he was off and elected not to play it. Nonetheless, he wins the corner.
Charlie Adams will take the corner for the Monarchs. Taken from the far side. Looks to whip it in.
Oh.
Poitiers there with the right jab. Knocks it into the back of Beasler.
It's a complete accident, but you could hear the crowd yell, oh, simply because Poitiers trying to hit it out.
Does not feel good.
Hitting a Monarchs player right in the back.
Adams will swing it in. Looking. Poitiers there to collect. Moberg was in the area. Got a replay look of that ball getting smacked in the back of Beasler.
And by this time, the whistle's already blown. Nick Beasler does not see that coming, nor did anybody.
Argueta skinned of the ball, but a foul will be called on Sebastian Velasquez. Head coach Steve Trichu not very happy down there talking with fourth official Brad Jensen. So you saw that replay look. Seba still getting a warning. Now Briggs going to get an explanation from Brad Jensen. He's going to have a busy night at this rate.
Velasquez is going to have to be careful. It's still very early in the game. You don't want to get on the ref's bad side.
Phillips looking for King. Job there by Adams. Out wide. Colorado Springs looking in the area. King was in the area. Connor Sparrow out to collect. Moberg to Velasquez. He'll switch the pitch. Lakawecki out getting his boots wet on the far side. Looking forward for Adams. Too long for him.
This is when the Monarchs are so good at pressing. They lock it to one side, and that's exactly what happens. Like, Ibusi just hits the ball out. He has nowhere to go with it. And that's perfect pressure there from the Monarchs.
Into Chandler Hoffman. Hoffman on the touchline, looking in for Brody. It'll be cleared out by Suggs.
I'm impressed. I didn't think Hoffman was going to be able to get that cross off. But you can tell how quickly he was moving. One looked up and quickly sent it over.
Brody there flying around the Energizer Bunny. Able to knock that one out just at midfield. Suggs will get the throw in. High boot there by Prue. Guy's name that we haven't called too much so far tonight. Hoffman battling there. He'll win a free kick. Monarchs quickly take it. Joseph Dickerson's going to slow things down. Monarchs wanted to go quickly there.
I didn't see anything wrong with them going quickly. He wasn't giving Ibusi a talking to or a card or anything. There's no reason the Monarchs can't set the ball and go.
Lakawecki into Adams. Charlie. He plays it out wide to Lakawecki. Lakawecki's service in the area, and Ibusi, or Puati, excuse me, there to collect. He's going to quickly distribute to the left side, looking for King. Nice job there by the Monarchs defense. Prue to Burt. Burt's cross. Gallagher will clear. It'll be a throw in on the far side for Colorado Springs. Switchbacks FC on the attack. Malcolm gets around the defender, but Gallagher's there to rifle that up almost out of the bottom section of Rio Tinto.
Good no-nonsense clearance there from Gallagher. Clear the danger, reset, get your players where you need to be, and try and win the ball back.
Be a long throw in looking for King. Gallagher's there. Gallagher will clear. Second ball won by the Monarchs. Ball still inside the area, clipped in. Sparrow will come to collect. He'll look to distribute quickly, but will slow things up for the Monarchs.
Switchbacks starting to attack a lot more, but so far haven't had too many dangerous opportunities in front of Sparrow.
Fantastic distribution there from Connor Sparrow. I think he's been spending a little bit of time with one Nicky Raimondo. That little side volley immediately puts Switchbacks under pressure and puts his team right back on the attack.
Haber looking to the back stick. No one home. Tony there trying to keep things in and will win a throw-in for the Monarchs. I think we're going to see a card here, maybe. Cashier is going to be warned for his talk with Daniel Spicer Escalante on this right side. Still getting a warning. Dissent is not a thing that the MLS or the USL tolerates, and rightfully so. Quickly taken in. Gallagher's gonna win it, looking for Charlie. Charlie's gonna turn. He's got space. Haber out wide. Haber's gonna cut in with his right foot, looking for the back post, and is gonna take a deflection, and the Monarchs will win their third corner of this first half.
Haber and Lakawecki looking so dangerous on that left side. I mean, you've seen very little coming from your, I should say, your near side on the camera. But on that left side, the Monarchs are doing a great job of getting to the end line and then crossing it in as one of the most dangerous balls that you can find in soccer and getting a lot of corners out of it.
Keep an eye on the goalkeeper here. Chandler Hoffman sitting right in front of the goalkeeper, creating that traffic.
Adams to the back stick. Puati there to collect.
Right on cue. He does well to get through that traffic, get behind everybody, and come out and really command his box.
Tony Beltran will play it back all the way to Connor Sparrow. 20 minutes of soccer have been played here at the Riot. Still 0-0. Both sides with decent opportunities, nothing decisive so far.
And if you're Real Monarchs, you have to be perfectly content with getting touches on the ball, really trying to feel this game out and wear Switchbacks FC out to try and take a hold of this game.
Haber to Lakawecki. Lakawecki trying to get the cross in. Ibusi was there to defend. Ball's played into Hoffman. Nice tackle there by Suggs to keep Haber, or excuse me, Hoffman away from the ball.
Suggs read that perfectly, because if he wouldn't have slid in for that ball, if he would have tried to jab at it or maybe get his body in the way, Monarchs would have had an opportunity one-on-one with Pawati in goal.
Mash to Cashier. Shot takes a deflection. The decent opportunity there for Master Cashier. He's a guy you have to watch out for with that right foot. He likes to cut into his preferred right foot and rifle one.
Well, and give him credit for shooting it. I mean, most players, especially this early in the match, we're in the 21st minute, you know, they like to get into the box before they shoot anything. But Cash Air mixing it up, making it a bit unpredictable. They always tell you, shoot before you're ready, because that means most likely the goalkeeper's not going to be ready too, and that's exactly what happened. Luckily, Sparrow able to read it off of the deflection, and the score is able to stay at zeros.
Sebastian Velasquez will collect. Looking out wide to Tony.
I love that from Sebastian Velasquez as he comes back, drops in, splits the center backs, receives that ball, immediately is heads up looking wide, just doesn't quite get a hold of it enough for Tony Beltran to get on the end of it.
Well, and that's probably why he gets so many touches, is his willingness to come back. I mean, he has one of the highest touch percentages on the team, and it makes sense. It seems like every time, you know, the play's on, Velasquez is involved someone, is his willingness to run back 60 yards.
And that's exactly what you want from your number 10.
Ball's going to be swung out wide. Malcolm will collect. He's defended by Lakawecki. He'll get it back. Lakawecki's defending him. Goes towards the touchline. Nice pass there. But good defensive work by Haber to knock it out. It'll be a corner in the first of the night for Colorado Springs. Suggs will take the quarter for Colorado Springs. He leads the USL with 60 crosses this season, has 2 assists. Dangerous coming up that left side.
A fantastic game a week ago against Vancouver Whitecaps 2 in Vancouver. He was up and down. He was torrid on that left side.
It'll be quickly taken. Clipped back in, inside the area, ball bouncing around. And Connor Sparrow will collect, but will be a PK whistled on Gallagher.
And a yellow card. Looks like he may have thrown a hand up there. If we can get another look at that. A little bit of a scrum in the box I didn't quite see as the ball gets dumped back in here by Suggs.
It's hard to see what happened, but there must have been some sort of skirmish.
Looks like it hits his hand. King will take
horrible luck for a handball.
The PK for Colorado Springs. He'll put it down at the spot. Colorado Springs with an opportunity to take the lead in the 25th minute of play. Sparrow on his line.
See if he can pull a Nick Raimondo today.
King set to take it. He approaches. Penalty kick is saved. Big save. But the rebound will be smashed home. And Colorado Springs leads 1-0 here in the 26th minute of play.
Right on cue, Joshua Suggs does exactly what you do from the youth level to the professional level. You always follow your shots, whether he was in the box or not. The referee missed it. At the end of the day, it does not matter. Connor Sparrow makes a big save. Suggs follows that up. and buries the ball. Monarchs defenders and head coach Mark Briggs not happy either with the referee or the willingness to follow the shot and defend.
Yes.
Either way, Switchbacks FC up 1-0.
Now you can see Sparrow arguing with the sideline official, arguing that Suggs entered the box before the play had ended. Again, we'd have to watch that again on the replay. You end up watching the ball. But it definitely puts the Monarchs in a difficult angle. We'll be able to see here in a replay coming up later. You know, we'll be able to see if Sparrow is justified. But nonetheless, it makes a difficult situation for the Monarchs.
Monarchs give up their first goal in over 224 minutes of shutout soccer. Switchbacks lead 1-0.
Now, this isn't a position that the Monarchs are used to being in, being down early and being down at home. Now, how do they respond correctly and respond confidently to try and get a result out of this game?
Touch by Sebastian Velasquez. Brody looking to clip it into the back post. Adams will collect. Plays it out wide to Haber. Haber's on the touchline. Plays it across the 6. Nothing going and no one home. Sebastian Velasquez holding out his hands, hoping for that one, but that one goes out the other side.
That'll most likely be the Monarchs' most dangerous play so far. I think the most important thing for the Monarchs to remember and Coach Briggs to remember at this time is there's still a lot of soccer to be played. There's no reason to panic right now. There's no reason, you know, to be changing your shape. Just keep playing the high pressure that they've been playing for these first 25 minutes. And opportunities like the one we just saw are going to continue to come. The question now is if you're able to capitalize on those opportunities.
Adams with the great tackle to skin Malcolm of the ball. Lakawecki to Velasquez. He'll cut in. Plays it back to Beasler. Adams clipping it in, looking for Hoffman. Defended well by Abusi. And it'll be cleared by Colorado. Springs. Tony looking forward to Brody. Brody's going to come from an offside position to an onside position. And the AR on this side will flag him off.
So far in the first 28 minutes or so, Abusi's been fantastic in the air and on the ground. He's put in the correct tackles. He's been in the right position to head the danger away, and he's really been the general on that back line.
Moberg, he'll win the header. Monarchs leading the possession battle. 70-30 so far. But Switchbacks FC have the scoreline 1-0, 28th minute of play. On a penalty kick by, or excuse me, not the penalty kick, the rebound on the penalty kick by Josh Suggs. Colorado, they're attacking. Beasler there to defend. Burt will play it back to Malcolm. Monarchs under a little bit of pressure. Cashier out wide. He'll play it in the box. Nice leave there. Velasquez is going to run forward, but there will be a foul called on Josh Phillips, holding the arms of Chandler Hoffman. Hoffman on 4 goals, 3 assists on the season. He's having a stellar season so far through 8 games.
Yeah, and the thing that's been so cool to watch Hoffman is that he was confident since game 1. You know, since the very first game he was going at players. I remember taking, you know, the goalies on 1v1, and you usually don't see that from players in their very first season. And he's been able to carry that confidence with him. I mean, his own teammates say he's one of the leaders on the team.
He's a guy that has a lot of experience and is a proven goal scorer at multiple levels. MLS Cup winner with the Galaxy. Haber looking into Hoffman, shot and a goal! Chandler Hoffman finds the back of the net in the 30th minute of play.
What were you guys just saying about Chandler Hoffman? He puts himself in the most perfect positions. And again, Haber, that entry ball, Haber puts that ball across the box. And guess who? Chandler Hoffman gets his 5th of the year. Just sneaks under Poati. I think Poati might want that one back, but nonetheless, well done there from Chandler Hoffman.
And the timing
tie this game.
The timing was excellent too. I mean, you can see him waiting for him to send the ball across, and the minute that the ball was passed, the minute the minute that it was sent in, then immediately you can see Hoffman run in. Just excellent timing, way to get to the ball. Get his left foot on it. Sometimes you just have to hit it with what's closest.
What a wonderful ball in there from Haber. Really slices that ball in there, puts some pace on it, puts some pepper on it. Take a chance. You never know what's going to happen. And luckily this time, his striker gets on the end of it, 1-1.
No, he deserves it. He's been sending great crosses in from that left side, especially all game. Haber, we had mentioned, one of the most versatile players, able to cross, able to score, able to play defense.
Guys, most of the time commentators have a curse. That was good luck. Have to point that one out.
I was going to say, that usually doesn't happen, does it?
I take the wins I can get. 1-1.
You'll have to be sure to tell him that we were talking about his goal-scoring abilities seconds before scoring his 7th goal.
Through 31 minutes of play here at the Riot. Monarchs 7-1-0 on the season. Colorado Springs 3-3-4. Both sitting in the top 5. Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. That's NikeSoccer.com. Lakawecki, back to Beasler. Haber's all the way in, looking wide to Brody, trying to get Brody in on the action. Brody's going to run this one down and can't get on the end of this one before it crosses the end line. It'll be a goal kick for Poati. The Cameroon international, recently called up in late March for a friendly. All being pinged around. All the way back to Gallagher. Back to Sparrow. Looking forward to Hoffman. Hoffman will be kept in by Brody. Brody's on this right side. He'll slow things up. Back to Tony. Velasquez looking to nutmeg Hugh. Back to Adams. Quickly. Seba fouled from behind.
And that's what Velasquez does so well. He just frustrates defenders until defenders have nothing to do except just push him down and take the foul.
Lakawecki trying to get around the defense. Argueta, the captain, there to clean things up.
It's always fun to see a defender like Lakawecki taking players on in the attacking third. And it's awesome because he has midfielder Charlie Adams drops back a little bit to take up the space.
Beasler. Lakawecki with his heels on the touchline there. Trying to spread the field, this large field here at Rio Tinto. Moberg's gonna play it back to Sparrow. You know, guys, we've talked about this, and we talked about this a little earlier on. This team is a team capable of finding goals from all over the field. 11 different players have scored this season for the Monarchs. Something that they haven't been used to. Adams, out wide, looks to clip it into the back post. No one's home. Tony there to win another throw-in for the Monarchs. He's very good at that little waiting to the last minute to touch it off a player. Velasquez trying to get around the defender. Defended tightly, he'll play it back to Beasler. Good switch there from Beasler. Out wide to Haber. Haber going at Burt. Looking in the area to Sebastian Velasquez. He turns, looking to Hoffman. Big shot. And a save by Colorado Springs. That one we'll need to look at a second time, as we'll get a second look at it here.
What a fantastic save there from Powasi. Again, Charlie Adams with that ball played in as Sebastian dips his shoulder, and that ball gets played across, and you just have to stay so balanced. I know momentum's carrying him to his left, but still, that ball's low and in a tough position, and he does well to get his big left paw down there and bat that one away. Credit to his defender as well to clear the danger. Talk about following the shots on both sides of the ball.
Adams. He'll play it back to Moberg. Moberg smartly plays it back to Gallagher. Adams gonna go forward. Defended closely. He'll try to whip it in, looking for Hoffman. And he's gonna be fouled by Eddie Pugh.
Pugh coming in very late. Doesn't argue with the referee. Silly foul there, and he knows it.
Adams has created a lot of opportunities for the Monarchs this season. Has a goal and 3 assists through 7 games. Had a red card suspension for a game earlier in the season. Gallagher to Beltran. Looking in the direction of Hoffman. Monarchs applying lots of pressure. Ibusi looking forward to King. Cut off by Gallagher. Quick ball movement there from the Monarchs. Suggs. He stayed home a little bit more here in this match than normal. Probably caused a little bit by Andrew Brody. As I say it, he moves forward. Cashier will spray it wide to Malcolm, to Burt. It'll be a corner kick for Colorado Springs, their second of the match, in the 38th minute of play.
If we remember, it was that first corner that led to the PK, which led to the deflected shot, which led to the goal. A lot of series of events there, but it came from a corner kick. You know, these set pieces can be so dangerous, and they change the outcomes of game. They change the rhythm of games.
Ibusi's a guy to look out for. Phillips up there as well. Suggs will take the corner kick for the Switchbacks. Back stick, Connor Sparrow's there. He'll clear it out as Burt's laying on the ground. And Ibusi's gonna get a warning. Talking to.
It's a tough ball for Connor Sparrow to come to. Floating towards his back post through traffic. He does well to get the big paw on it. Plus win a free kick out of it. Well done there from Sparrow.
We're all tied up in this Rocky Mountain rivalry, but all-time Colorado Springs has the advantage. They're 4-2-1 in the all-time record between these two sides. Colorado been, like we mentioned, a very consistent winning side in their history. Sparrow out to collect. Gallagher defending on King. Good crowd on hand here at the Riot.
Oh, and perfect weather for a soccer game. Not only good crowd, you can hear the drums in our microphone, so good fans here. But it makes for a great Saturday night.
And there's no wind. If you're a player, you have to be so thankful for that. The last few times we've been here at Rio Tinto Stadium, there's been some gusty winds, some cold winds.
Oh, you'd rather take the rain or the snow over the wind.
Oh, absolutely.
Real Salt Lake has a thing or two to say about that. They've had some snowy games here.
Well, a big shout out to the grounds crew, right? Not only do they keep this field looking good, but when it snows, they shovel the sidelines so you can see where the box and the touch lines are.
Beautiful backdrop of the Rocky Mountains here between these two rivals. Free kick for the Monarchs. Gallagher will play it back to Moberg. Adams moving forward. Wide to Brody. Brody will smartly slow it up. He'll get it back. Dances around the defender. Looking out wide to Haber. Haber has Lakawecki with him. He'll cut in. Looking to Adams still. Adams takes to the left foot and will take a shot. Not enough pace on that one, but a decent opportunity for the Monarchs. Quickly, Beasler there to clean things up.
Again, perfect positioning there from Nick Beasler to come across and gather that ball, stick in a tackle, and distribute.
King. Moberg clears it forward. Sebastian Velasquez defended by Ford. Looks to move forward. Ibusi's there. Monarchs will quickly take it. Brody looks to whip it into Hoffman. A nice diving save there. Or reach into the air by Puati.
Puati's making a nice little highlight reel here from this game. In this half, he's already had 4 or 5 just incredible saves. You can see him here going completely horizontal to get that ball.
What range from a goalkeeper, though? Most goalkeepers are very hesitant to come out that far. Not a lot of traffic, but still that ball's dying and it's curving away from you. That range is fantastic. It's quite amazing.
Velasquez going forward, looking to Hoffman. Argueta, the captain, looking wide to Masta Kasher. Defended by Tony. Brody back to help. Argueta. He'll get it back, looking to clip it in. Hits the back of Perez. Velasquez will cut in with his left foot. Forward to Hoffman. Monarchs on the counterattack, looking forward. Haber's on that left side. Haber's inside the air, looking for Hoffman. And a kick save there by Puati.
Haber and Hoffman really are that dynamic duo. It'd be interesting to see at halftime the percentage between those two. They seem to do a really great job of just finding each other, especially on that far side.
And even the entry ball played in there from Adams, Velasquez, that has been on time and time and time again here in this first half. They have just been great down that far side.
Oh yeah, if I'm Coach Briggs, I'm telling him at halftime, keep punishing that sideline because you're gonna get 2 or 3 at least opportunities in the second half.
Velasquez gets around his defender, looking. I don't know if he had eyes for goal there to try to catch Puati off his line. But that one's going to go up and over the goal. It'll be a goal kick for Colorado Springs. Good 45 minutes of soccer from both sides. Good save by Connor Sparrow on the PK, but could not deny Josh Suggs in the 25th minute. Outside the air, King And that's going to float just wide. Connor Sparrow will take the restart, the goal kick. He'll be high and long. 1 minute of stoppage time announced. Tony, you can just see the skill from that guy.
He just seems to play at a speed that's faster than everybody else, whether it's taking his first touch or on the pass. Just plays at a very different speed. You can tell all of his experience that he's had with the father team with RSL.
Moberg. He's going to look to switch it. Looking far wide to Haber.
I think Daniel Haber's starting to grow his own grass out there. He's had so much space and time all night out there. And even James Moberg finding him.
Can he claim it as his own state? And that's all she wrote. Joseph Dickerson will blow his whistle, and 45 minutes of soccer have been played at the Riot. We're all knotted up 1-1 between these two sides. Goals in the 25th minute by Josh Suggs, and then the Monarchs equalized in the 30th minute of play off a goal from Chandler Hoffman. Both sides have to be content, like we mentioned, to come away 1-1 at this point. Obviously, the Monarchs, feel that they maybe were hard done, but it looked like it was a clear penalty.
Yeah, I think that score is a fair score, 1-1 going into halftime. I thought the Monarchs did well to fight back for that equalizer. The three of us had talked about that. They clawed their way back into it, chance after chance, put Switchbacks FC back under pressure, but I think Colorado Springs did a very good job early on within the first 25 minutes or so. They put the Monarchs under pressure early, and that's how you're going to get points here, is put the Monarchs under pressure. They're not used to that, like I said, let alone at home. They did a very good job there in the first half.
No, at this point, the advice for both teams is essentially consistency. You're right, Taryn. Both teams have had opportunities in front of the goal. Both teams have been playing well and have looked dangerous. And as far as defensive lines go, both teams have done a good job. And so the key is going to be who can stay the most consistent in this match, especially as we approach the 90th minute.
Monarchs with the majority, or the lion's share of possession, I should say. 70-30 on possession, but really only one goal to show for it. We'll take a timeout here at halftime and be back with an interview with assistant Monarchs GM Dan Egner shortly.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh.
It only takes a moment to make a moment.
Cheers.
Take time to be a dad today.
Here's your check.
Oh, you got it. Since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars. Innovative technology and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
The CONCACAF Gold Cup kicks off in July with Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida, hosting the U.S. men's national team versus Martinique on July 12th.
I've been in many stadiums in the United States throughout my career, and there's not a finer venue than Raymond James. So I think I can say on behalf of CONCACAF and U.S. Soccer, we're thrilled to be coming here in July, and it's going to be an exciting time.
Coach Arena and the Cup finished the day with a visit to the USL corporate offices in Tampa.
The growth of the sport in our country has grown tremendously. Everywhere in the United States, you can find a soccer club, and that's obviously is attributed to the growth of USL as well as Major League Soccer. So the sport in our country has grown tremendously, and we should be real proud of where we are in 2017.
For USL Network, I'm Morgan Conklin.
Welcome back into halftime between this Rocky Mountain rivalry between Colorado Springs and the Real Monarchs. We're joined here by Dan Egner, Assistant Monarchs GM. Thanks, Dan, for joining us. We're excited to get a little insight on the team.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's always great chatting with you guys.
So, Dan, let's start things off. I know we've talked a lot about the process. You guys are continually looking at players, trying to evaluate talent, and you have a team out here that has a lot of guys that have come from all over. It's a big process.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you know, right now things have started off well. We really like where we are. But you never know, knock on wood, we haven't sustained a serious injury this year with the Monarchs. The first team's battled that quite a bit.
I gotcha.
And we haven't. So we still are continuing to watch guys, because who knows, you could pick up a knock in the second half, you could pick one up in 2 weeks, and we need to be prepared as a front office to make a move if something like that happens, so we can continue the role that we're on. Real
Salt Lake really has seen a lot of those injuries. They have had handfuls of injuries, starting 11s off the field, and the Monarchs really have been fortunate so far to have really no major injuries.
We have, and you know, we're in a spot right now where if we had one or two, we feel good about the depth that we do have. Some of the guys who are in the 18 on the bench tonight have really stepped up their game in training recently, and they've made big improvements since the preseason and the start of the year. I think we've seen that when they've come on recently with Janelle Desire, Emmanuel Okron, and Carson Hanlon have made an impact the last couple games when they've come on, and they've continued developing and really shown well for themselves.
So as the academy moves up here in August, September-ish, correct?
Yeah, about maybe late July.
Oh, even earlier.
Yeah.
Sweet. So as the academy moves up here, will we see some more of that, maybe fluctuation, maybe of academy guys up training with the Monarchs, getting opportunities maybe with the Monarchs?
Yeah, I think we definitely will. I mean, it's going to be easy once those guys are here, because, you know, not only is the academy coaches watching them every day, but the Monarchs coaches will be watching them every day. The front office will be watching them, and they can get integrated into Monarchs training, which is great because they're testing up against professionals. And, you know, when we do have those knocks, or we have a guy who's performing well, he'll make an 18, or maybe he'll get a start, and we'll see him at the professional level, which gives us more depth than we have right now. Obviously, we have it with the academy, but they have to fly up. They're not too familiar with these guys. Once they're here, they're going to know these guys just like they know their academy teammates, and it'll be a seamless transition for them.
Really more of the European setup with all teams in one house, and an opportunity for them to come to first team games, watch the Monarchs train with both sides, and have an opportunity to play their own games in the backyard of Rio Tinto Stadium.
Yeah, it's going to be great, and the sooner the better. I know it's going to be great for the second half of the USL season to have that, and it's really, for a team that's doing well, it's just going to be one extra notch in our belt come halfway through the season.
Dan, you guys are building for the future. What do you guys look for when building your roster to carry this through, not only at a year at a time, but maybe 4 or 5 years down the road?
Sure. You know, it's a blend. So, and you can see that with this roster this year. We have guys who are proven at this level, at the USL, the NASL level. So they're known commodities. Then you have a few guys who you see and it's like, wow, they have a lot of potential. They have tools that we like, but they might maybe need a little bit more development than some of the other guys. And luckily so far for the guys that we have who are kind of in that category, they've really stepped their game up and made the progress that we've want to seen so far. And looking for, you know, realistically, we know that a lot of these guys are here because they want to be on the first team. And at the end of the year, there's going to be some guys who might not make that jump, or it's time to move on. They'd like to move on, and we'll respect that, and we'll have to go out and replace them. So it's a blend. It's a delicate blend, but we think so far it's been right.
Now, from your perspective, being right in the thick of things, obviously, What are the factors that have contributed to such a hot start for the Monarchs?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's quite a few. I think our coaching staff has done an excellent job, and that started in preseason with Coach Pecky and Mark and Coach Glazer and Olave. Have been great with the group and implementing the style they want, their expectations, and what they expect out of this group day in and day out. This group of players is going to sound cliche, but they are extremely close and get along great, which is a big part of it. And this is a hungry group, and Mark does a great job at constantly keeping those guys motivated, making sure that they're not content with their performances and that they know that they can do better. And I think we saw that after we gave up that penalty. They came back, they answered, they're hungry, and anytime this group kind of gets punched in the mouth, they get right back up off the mat hungrier than before. And I think that's been a huge part to the success so far.
They had 224 minutes of shutout soccer going into this game, just about 250 minutes by the time the rebound off the penalty kick was scored. Talk to us a little bit about this defense, this back line. There were some additions to this back line coming through last year, Moberg was a piece added last year, but he was playing mostly in the midfield. Now he's in that back line and is that mainstay for the Monarchs.
Yeah, so, from a back line perspective, the only returner that we had was Max Lakowecki, who played quite a few Monarchs games last year, and he's started every match so far for us this year. Kyle Karinga out on the right is a new addition for this year. He had been playing for 3 years professionally in Finland. Came in on trial with us during the preseason and really impressed, and he's been very steady for us. And then when you look at the center back position, obviously Emilio Orozco started with us. He's actually the only Monarch who's entering his 3rd season with the Monarchs, but he's picked up a knock and he's been out for a little bit. So Michael Gallagher, who is an addition from the Portland Timber system, has kind of stepped into that role, and he's shown very well for himself. Then Moberg, actually, when he was brought in, trained a lot at center back or at holding midfielder last year. Played a match at center back towards the end of the season. Played very well, kept a clean sheet, and then when he came in for preseason, coaches slotted him in at center back after a few days, and he's done everything they've asked him and more. He works extremely hard. He's always wanted to improve, and he's really been quite a pleasant surprise for us.
Not to mention adding 2 goals, played every minute, 720 minutes coming in tonight, and 2 goals, and you gotta love that from a center back.
Yeah, you do. I mean, you look, he scored our first goal of the season off a set piece, which was great, and then his finish against Swope Park. I mean, any striker in the world is going to take that finish, and to have that from a center back, it just kind of adds that, the cherry on top.
Dan, before we get on to the second half here, talk quickly about Tony Beltran, having him in the team this week. It looks like he's just going to go 45 minutes, and like you said, Kyle Karinga is going to slide in. He's been a mainstay, obviously, RSL fans know, with the first team. Talk about that experience, what that means to have him here this week.
Yeah, I mean, and Tony actually spent the majority of the week training with the Monarchs and getting his fitness up and getting ready for this match. Tony is the ultimate professional, and you look at a guy who's had a career such as he has to be a professional, and it's great for these young guys to be around that, especially all week, see how they should carry themselves in training, off the field. It's one of those experiences that you really can't get anywhere else, and he came out here, he did a job. I think he'll be satisfied, and we're looking forward to getting him back with the first team. But when a first team player comes down, you couldn't ask for anything more than that, and it's always great for these guys.
224 MLS appearances and a couple, I believe 3 or 4 national team appearances for Tony. 45 minutes for him tonight. We're going to see Karinga in. Dan, we appreciate you taking the time to join us tonight in the booth. Thank you for the insights. We always welcome you with open arms up here in the booth. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you guys for having me, and have a good call in the second half.
Thank you. Second half action coming momentarily. We're knotted up 1-1 at the half. Goals from Josh Suggs in the 25th minutes off a rebound, save on a PK from Connor Sparrow, and Hoffman added one in the 30th minute of play to knot things up on an assist from Daniel Haber. Both teams on the pitch. We're going to see a substitution made. The one that was planned, and I know we didn't mention that, but that was a planned substitution for those fans watching. Tony played phenomenal during 45 minutes and looked very comfortable, back to his normal self. Hopefully we'll see him up with the first team here shortly.
Yeah, sometimes one of the hardest things about getting injured is the mental aspect of it. While your body may be feeling good, you know, that first couple of games back, it's, you know, you tend to be a little more tentative when you go into tackles, when you're going in to do a header. But you're right, Landon, I didn't see any, you know, any sort of tentative attitudes or body language from Beltran. He seems like he's ready to go and ready to be back with RSL.
Joseph Dickerson's going to blow his whistle. And the second half is underway here at Rio Tinto Stadium. 1-1. Great win there by Gallagher. Zlakowecki's going to be knocked down by Malcolm. Again, fans, we thank you for tuning into the broadcast tonight on the YouTube channel, especially those in Colorado Springs. I hope those that are at Jack Quinn's Pub, Irish Pub in Colorado Springs, are enjoying tonight's match.
No, it's definitely been a fun one to watch. To give you some stats, kind of give you an idea of how this first half went, the Monarchs dominated with this 70% percentage compared to the 30% that the Switchbacks have. But give the Switchbacks credit. They were able to capitalize. They had that PK, and they were on their toes, ready to go. Suggs able to, you know, get on the end of a PK. And soccer's one of those crazy games that it doesn't matter who's possessing the ball the most, but what matters is who can finish on their opportunities.
Lakowecki able to keep it in. Ubusi there. Monarchs applying the high pressure. Lakowecki again, but will be a throw-in for Jordan Burt. 2 goals on the season for him.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the Real Monarchs really go for it here in this next 45. They're fit, they're confident. Look for them to put the Switchbacks FC under pressure early and quick and try and create opportunities from that pressure.
Fans, make sure you tune into the USL's weekly show on Sirius XM Radio, Sirius XM FC, channel 85 on Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern for the latest news and information from around the league. Also, don't forget, Sirius XM FC will broadcast the USL Game of the Week. Check out uslsoccer.com for dates and times. Crowd down there chanting, "Where is Theo?" I think there's a missing mascot that fans are looking for.
Big shout out to the Riot Brigade. They come full force every game, win, rain, shine. You know, you name it. They're always here cheering this Monarchs team on and letting the away team know they're not necessarily all that comfortable in that welcome here.
They're hanging out with the Wasatch Legion. You can see those TIFOs down there in the northwest corner of the stadium.
You know, we need him to make a TIFO for us. We gotta, right, like the father team, Real Salt Lake, they have a TIFO for their broadcasters. We need to do something, Landon, to get one of those.
It's our goal.
Rick, if you're listening, we know you're the one who makes the TIFOs.
He was just getting shown on the screen, so I don't think he's listening. Velasquez. Monarchs with possession. Ball there from Beasler. Long touch there by Gallagher. Malcolm. Good step and win by Gallagher. He'll go forward, looking for Haber. Building into the attack, Daniel Haber. He'll slow things up, cuts it in, shot! Deflected off Phillips. That'll be a corner kick for the Monarchs.
He's gonna be seeing that one in his dreams. You see him after he shoots it. He slaps his hands against the ground thinking, oh, I probably should have gone far post. But things are moving so quickly. You take the window, and the Switchbacks doing a great job of doing anything to just slide, get a leg in there.
Didn't look like a bad opportunity from Daniel Haber.
Looks like a bit of indecision, though. He thought shoot, he thought pass, and then he went back to shoot, and by then, his defender had really closed him down well.
Sometimes you have to be calm, cool, and collective in the box. Adams will serve it in. Back post to Karinga. Karinga keeps it in. Argueta's defending him. Play back to Brody. Brody with the service. Looking in. Ball falls to Beasler. And he'll put that one up and over the crossbar. Good opportunity there for the Monarchs.
Bit of an awkward header there, excuse me, from Nick Beasler as he meets it really low. I think he maybe could have gone with his feet there, but nonetheless, I think he wants that one back. Good ball played in there from Andrew Brody.
You know, being calm, cool, and collective in the box is a characteristic that Chandler Hoffman has. He might be cooler than the other side of the pillow when it comes to being in the box. But those type of goal scorers really have to have that composure and make decisions quickly and efficiently inside the box to find their name on the score sheet.
And be able to adapt. You know, the different goalkeepers are going to play different ways, and obviously defenses are going to play a different shape every game and a different style. So you need forwards that are willing to adapt, willing to play unpredictable, and be able to mix it up. And you're right, that takes a lot of composure, especially when you're in front of the box.
Velasquez just outside the area, defended by one. He'll cut back, looking, shot, and a goal! Sebastian Velasquez finds the back of the net in the 51st minute of play. Gives us a Cristiano Ronaldo to cap things off.
What did we say before the game? Man on fire, man on a mission. Guess what? Guess who sneaks it in that far post as he catches Puati off his line, expecting the cross, and all he does is hammer it right into the far side netting. Fantastic opportunity, and that all started with another long ball over the top to find this now near side here on this left side on near Jordan Burt. I think Jordan Burt has kind of lost sight of the attackers, whether that's Velasquez, whether that's Daniel Haber. As we watch the replay again, he has all the time in the world. Good take here as he takes his defender on. This is where Puati starts cheating for the cross, and Velasquez catches the goalkeeper out, and Monarchs ahead 2-1.
Hashtag leave no doubt as he rifled that one into the corner net, side netting.
Now, and to be honest, I didn't think he was going to shoot it simply because his angle was so poor. And you can see Puati thought he was going to cross it too, simply because when you're at the touch line, you have 2 or 3 degrees to shoot the ball, but Velasquez with insane accuracy, able to slot it to that far post.
He caught Puati there just in no man's land, standing a touch too far out. As Puati tried to get a hand on it. Sebastian Velasquez makes that his 5th goal of the season to go along with 3 assists. He couldn't let Hoffman outdo him. Hoffman started the night with 4, Velasquez with 4. Hoffman added his 5th, and Sebastian Velasquez adds his 5th. Velasquez has to be a guy that's up at this point for MVP conversations, having a phenomenal season so far and leading this Monarch side really from the midfield.
Look, we talked about it last week. Velasquez, since his departure from the first team with Real Salt Lake a few seasons ago, he's developed into a much more mature player, being at New York, being in Oklahoma City, and he's learned some things along the way, both on and off the field. I would have to say several years ago with the first team, he crosses that ball. He doesn't have the recognition. He has one thing on his mind. Now he's able to pick his head up, maybe have a glance for that, and have a sight for goal, and guess what happens? Take a chance. You put it in the back of the net.
And that's what you need from your strikers, be willing to take that chance, especially when you're tied 1-1.
You know what? Velasquez deserves to take back his nickname, Rufio. He's a man on a mission. Making things happen, Sebastian Velasquez for this Monarchs team. Haber gonna chase things down into the corner. Haber applying lots of pressure, got on his horse there. Turnover there by Colorado Springs. Velasquez outside the area looking in for Haber. Haber cuts it back. Got a man, shoots across the 6, and a goal! Chandler Hoffman adds his 2nd of the night as Haber assists him again here in the 54th minute of play.
You know, that puts Hoffman in hat-trick position. If he's able to get one more, still has a lot of time before the end of the game. But Hoffman Hoffman, like his first goal, just a great ability and sense to know when the ball is going to be coming across the frame. I mean, we talked about his timing, we talked about his pace, we talked about his technical ability, and he's able to put all of that together consistently, time after time, cross after cross. It's no wonder that he's getting multiple games in a season, and right now multiple goals against a rival.
You know what I love about this play is we get a replay look about it. Haber cuts back to his left foot, really gives Hoffman time to find himself in a good position, and Haber slots it home, no problem.
A bit of patience there from Hoffman is always nice. Watch as Haber cuts this ball back and just fires it across the box, knowing that Hoffman is there, and all it takes is a daft little touch to tuck it away for his second goal of the night.
Haber and Hoffman. Hoffman owes him a nice steak dinner tonight for all the beautiful crosses and passes that he's been giving him today's game. Another excellent technical skill, just to be able to open up his hips, find that far post. I mean, Puati's had an excellent game, but you can't deal with those far post shots.
Switchbacks looking to get one back. Flags up. That one's going to be off on that far side.
I'm not sure what head coach Mark Briggs said to this Real Monarchs side at halftime, or what they ate at halftime, but it sure seems to have fired them up and really gunning for this win. No mercy tactics.
And you know, Taryn, I think that second goal really changed the game. Because at that point they realized, okay, we're up, and it changed the rhythm in that they're willing to take more risks and willing to get more crosses, you know, in front of the frame.
Defended well by Colorado Springs. Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. That's NikeSoccer.com. Monarchs moving forward. Brody looking to Hoffman. Sebastian Velasquez will keep it in. Shot and a goal! Rufio adds his second of the night and 6th of the season in the 57th minute of play.
Anything you, Chandler Hoffman, I can do, you can do, Sebastian Velasquez can do just as well as they trade goals. 3 goals inside, what now, 17 minutes to start this second half. Switchbacks FC just reeling.
Hoffman and Velasquez now having the opportunity to get a hat trick. Very rare opportunity here in soccer, but the two have tons of time to do it. A full 30 minutes, 33 minutes.
I heard the crowd chanting Rufio. It's back. Rufio is back. Monarchs lead 4-1. Goals in this second half in the 51st minute of play, 54th and 57th. Another opportunity for Velasquez, looking for Hoffman. Unselfish play there. Now
Really
he's trying to
came out
add
of
some
nowhere.
assists.
Well, trying to pad up his stats, but great job. We can start calling Rufio now, right? Great job by Rufio to be able to, that high pressure defense. You know, it's an opportunity where you pressure whenever you see a bad first touch, whenever your defender turns their back on you, and that's exactly what he does. And he finds himself in open space. Now, you're right, he's looking to find his teammate. Part of me thinks he should have just gone straight to goal one-on-one, but no shame in trying to get an assist for your teammate.
Colorado making their first change, and it comes at a very good time for them. They're kind of reeling from those three very, very quick goals. They need to make a change quick if they want to get themselves back in this game.
Well, it's just how crazy how fast, you know, soccer changes. At halftime, they're tied 1-1, and it seemed like both teams were getting equal opportunities. But now the Monarchs just dominating into the Switchbacks half.
A guy that Monarchs fans might recognize entered the match. Shane Malcolm's night is done after 59 minutes of soccer. Kayvon Frater will enter the match. He has 1 assist on the season so far. Scored 1 goal for the Monarchs last season.
I remember that. Frater's an excellent player as well, just fast as can be.
Sebastian Velasquez looking for the hat trick now. Hoffman as well. Both players sitting on braces. Karinga entered at half. So far hasn't been too active in the play, but has been doing his job alongside the back line to keep the Switchbacks off the score sheet here in the second half. Be a throw-in for Colorado Springs. Adams there looking to play it off the Switchbacks. With another throw-in for them. King. Argueta. Nice little touch there by Argueta. As Casher look to play him back, it'll be a throw-in, quickly taken. Monarchs will clear. Crowd getting to witness a very good game here at Rio Tinto Stadium. 60th minute of play, 4-1 Monarchs. Looking to add to their season total of 7 victories, looking to make it 8. Switchbacks moving forward. Pugh outside the area, looks to clip it in. Back post for King, over his head and will cross the end line. Gonna be a goal kick for Connor Sparrow.
Nothing wrong with that ball played, just a bit long for King there. I would even say Pugh had the opportunity to fire towards that far post, catch Connor Sparrow napping just a bit. That's always a hard ball as it comes through a defender like that.
Ibusi, one of the top products in Cameroon. Looks like we're going to see another sub here momentarily for Colorado Springs. Steve Tritchu trying to make some adjustments. Hoffman out wide. Nothing in the area for him. Lakawecki with the shot. Nice little worm burner there, looking for the near post as Puati's there to collect.
And why not? Get yourself forward, space opens up. Why not have a go?
Frater and Lakawecki battling.
Lakawecki probably just ran 100 yards there from one end of the field to the other. Doesn't seem to be tired. He and Brody are the two players we always seem to mention, just seems to be those Energizer bunnies that never seem to get tired and seem to be able to run from one side of the field to the other. You know, and we often mention the altitude here as well.
Ball crossed back post. Cleared by the Monarchs. Haber there.
But this is, we often mention the altitude, but this is one of the few teams that the Monarchs play where that's not really an advantage for them. Colorado Springs also playing at high altitude.
Higher altitude than we are here at the Wasatch Front,
definitely.
so they're used to the thin air.
McFarland in for King. King's night's done. McFarland will replace him.
Aaron King, the speedy forward up top, is going to end his night, but he did an excellent job of getting the PK. And while he missed his PK, it allowed for his teammate Suggs to be able to score early in the first half.
Sean McFarland played 461 minutes so far. Frater going up the left side, and that's going to be a yellow card, I'd imagine, for Gallagher. And I believe that's Gallagher's second yellow card, so he'll be shown red here in the 63rd minute of play. Professional foul, it's going to send him to the locker room. Red card for Gallagher in the 64th minute of play. 2 yellows resulting in that red card.
A tough decision for him. I don't know if he quite forgot that he was on a yellow card as Frater really burns Lakawecki. About to burn Gallagher. He had no choice but to bring him down.
When you wonder his thinking, the tactics behind it, there was only one more defender behind him, and so his thinking was probably stop it, get the foul, and get my whole team behind me. But unfortunately, it cost him the rest of his minutes for the match.
Monarchs going to play with 10 the rest of the way. Just under 30 minutes of soccer. Monarchs going to be down a man. Ball's inside the area, is going to fall. Comes off the post. Monarchs clear it anyway. Offside. Flag is up.
Look for Colorado Springs really to press the issue, force the issue, throw numbers forward. Center back just got a red card. They're going to have to go. The Monarchs are going to have to go less numbers up top. They're going to fill in that fourth slot on the back line. Look for Colorado just to go at them, get that second goal, get that third goal, and really try and finally equalizer without conceding yet again. Next week, Gallagher will have to miss the Vancouver Whitecaps game next Sunday as they travel up to British Columbia. Good Vancouver Whitecaps side, very good on the counterattack. They're going to miss that center back pairing that has played every minute so far this year.
Ball's just outside the area, sprayed wide, cuts in, defended well by the Monarchs. Argueta there to keep it in. Monarchs will be on the road for the next 2 weeks. Frater's going to take a shot, takes a deflection, and Sparrow's there to keep it in. Kind of an awkward deflection, but Sparrow did a good job to keep it in and collect the ball. Two games on the road, then back home June 10th at 7 p.m. versus the Timbers 2. Next game for Colorado Springs at home versus Reno, 1868 FC. 7 p.m. on Saturday night. Frater going to show his Jets there. It's going to go out and will be a Monarchs throw-in. Monarchs now with 24 goals in 9 games. Looking to add to their 4-game win streak, trying to make it 5. Last loss coming on April 15th to Colorado Springs in Colorado Springs.
It's a pretty impressive stat considering that they've already scored more goals than they did in their last season, and there's still a lot of soccer to be played for this team.
The local native up by the fourth official. And another University of Washington product. When you lose one, you bring one right back in. 3 center backs from the University of Washington.
And you want to talk about experience. He won MLS Cup with the Portland Timbers in 2015 in Columbus. So, again, adds experience to the back line.
Chandler Hoffman's night will be done. 2 goals on the night for Chandler Hoffman, scored in the 30th minute and the 54th minute, both assisted by Daniel Haber.
No, he has to feel happy about how he played tonight. Not only did he create a lot of space for his other teammates, like Velasquez, who was running up to get 2 goals, but was able to put it away 2 times simply by being in the right place at the right time. Definitely shows smart soccer IQ.
Mark Briggs there electing to bring on a defensive player, sacrifice his forward to add some more defensive stability. This game's not over. 4-1, 68th minute.
No, anything can happen in soccer, and when you're playing a man down, that definitely makes it more difficult. Monarchs now probably will not get the same sort of attacking opportunities that they did before, simply because they have 1 less player in the attacking third, and it seems that Mark Briggs is now having their players play a more conservative style of soccer for the last 20 minutes.
Hold on to the ball and really frustrate Colorado Springs is what Briggs has to be telling his team. Wear down Colorado Springs.
Haber with the good touch there. Brody looking for Haber. Back to Brody. Brody's just outside the area. Brody looking back stick into the waiting hands. Puati. Nice little kick there by Puati. He's going to send it over everybody. So you got a second look at Brody's attempt at a cross. Monarchs again playing with 10 men. So red card was issued or excuse me, a double yellow was issued to Michael Gallagher. In the 63rd minute of play. Ball's gonna be clipped in for Frater. Pay was with him.
Since
Sparrow
coming
collects.
on, Frater has been great. Turning on his afterburners, getting in behind.
Brody's in. Brody with one man in front of him, just outside the area, cuts in, takes a deflection, and nice defense there by Josh Phillips to cut out that attack of the Monarchs. Ball's on the ground. Adams will win it. Argueta was the one on the ground. Monarchs still looking to attack. Don't really have a lot of attacking presence up there. Velasquez will slow things up. Out wide to Lakawecki. Haber and Brody just outside the 18. Adams defended by Burt, and Burt was spun like a top.
What a cheeky little move there by Adams. Fakes like he's going to go inside, and then just outside of his left foot makes it look so easy.
Charlie Adams having a bit of a grin after the nutmeg. He says, whoop, see ya.
It's a fun side of Charlie Adams we usually don't see. I mean, he's an excellent distributor. We usually don't see him trying to nutmeg and get crazy on the end line.
I think they call that putting a little bit of English on the ball.
Something like it. Adams with the free kick. 18 extended. He'll play it back to Lakawecki. Monarchs content holding possession here. Velasquez plays it back to Moberg. Moberg all the way back to Sparrow. Frater, or excuse me, McFarland applying pressure. Brody and Haber now sitting a little higher. Adams gonna cut that one off. Adams with the nice dance. He's just in the area. Cutting to the touchline, back over the head of Brody. Brody.
The speed of play from the Monarchs has been great, aside from that last pass, of course, but just the 1-2 touch play, knowing where they're going to go, passing triangles, getting the ball wide, switching the field, playing through the middle. The opportunities are there when the ball is played quickly like that.
Yeah, and I think when they started to develop that rhythm, that's when all the goals came. You know, it just shows how much, I mean, both these teams are so talented, but it just shows how getting in a rhythm can really make the biggest difference in the match.
Lakawecki with the throw-in.
Colorado Springs really hasn't had an answer for that. They've made a good substitutions, but they really, I don't want to say in shambles, but they really don't know how to solve the issue.
Connor Bevins is going to come on for Ibusi. I don't know if Ibusi was struggling with an injury or maybe he's not feeling tight. Maybe they're making this adjustment to provide some service and a little bit more of an attack. Bevins will come on. He's played 17 minutes on the season, yet to record an assist or a goal for Colorado Springs.
Looks like he's going to slot in at the right back spot. Jordan Burt's going to go center with Phillips. Kind of a new shape back four. Let's see how they handle as the Monarchs continue to pressure even down a man.
Bevins. Well, Frater will settle. Looking forward for Bevins, or excuse me, for McFarland. Adams dances away. Looking to hit it to Brody.
You can tell he slips right before he hits it. Falls down on the ground as if he's going to make a snow angel.
I was just thinking the same thing. If there was snow here, he could have made a snow angel. Grass angel. Ball's knocked. Rio Tinto Stadium. That's happened before, the Snow Angels, by the U.S. women's national team. Carla seems quite proud of that.
Oh, I'm definitely proud.
Hey, they're our World Cup winners. We all have to be proud of the women's national team.
Oh, it's funny how the weather really can, change games. It also makes it fun. Earlier this year, Real Salt Lake played a game in the snows, the one we were talking about with the grounds crew shoveling the sidelines. And I remember when they had scored a goal, they began throwing snowballs at each other.
Luis Silva, right?
Yeah. For a lot of these players, too, they come from areas where it doesn't snow. So you imagine that it must be kind of a novelty or fun to play in the cold weather.
Or not so fun,
or not so
depending
fun,
on
you're right.
who you ask.
Karinga presses forward. Velasquez tries to settle. Argueta is with him. Argueta wins it. Quickly to Frater, the Jamaican international. Looking back post. Defended well by Lakawecki. Brody feels like he's running everywhere. Haber with one man to beat. Burt's getting back. Phillips in front of him. Velasquez sitting on the brace. He's just outside the 18, trying to get it back to Haber. Haber made an outrun instead of an in-run. Velasquez trying to get another assist.
And I'm kind of surprised
Or the
Velasquez
hat trick.
was able to get the outside of his foot on that one. I don't think Haber was expecting it either. Haber was just trying to create some space for him, but Velasquez doing a great job of seeing that window for just half a second and hitting with the outside of his right foot.
'76 minute. 4-1 Monarchs. Lakawecki and Frater gonna battle. I believe it will be a goal kick confirmed by the AR. Captain Jack Sparrow down there will take the goal kick for the Monarchs.
Switchbacks FC not really flooding a whole lot of numbers forward. They're dumping that hopeful ball into the box in the hopes that Frater may be able to get ahead on it. But still, even if he does get ahead on it, a ball that high, that floated, it's not going to be a clean header. Where's the other attackers?
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised by how few numbers they have up there.
Monarchs still applying a lot of pressure. Sitting kind of in a
bit of a 4-4-1.
Yeah.
Hard to say with how much they transition and change.
Brody has just been running all night. Legs have to be tired. Head coach Mark Briggs discussing things over with the Verb himself, Hamas and Alave, down in the technical area.
And Coach Briggs is another one of those people that hasn't sat down this match either the entire time. Have had his arms crossed and ready for anything. He seems ready on his toes as if he was ready to go in.
Like an advantage might have been played. Velasquez was knocked off the ball. Argueta to Pugh. To Burt. Burt now kind of out wide. Good volley there and a good opportunity by Sean McFarland.
McFarland with a bit of ingenuity there as he pops that ball up, takes a touch and has a go, doesn't catch it clean, but very clever way to evade the two defenders there by popping that ball up and creating space for himself.
Monarchs down, playing with 10 men after a red card in the 63rd minute of play. To Gallagher, his second yellow of the night earned him that red. Monarchs were attacking with a lot of energy before the red, having scored in the 51st, 54th, and 57th. Still attacking, but not quite with the same juice they had earlier. Foul called there on Ricardo Perez. Game's kind of slowed down a little bit here in the last few.
Real Monarchs just trying to milk the clock as much as they can. Colorado just trying to get forward, but no real answers in the final third.
Yeah, and if you're Mark Briggs, this is what you want. You want a team that is be able to play consistent. But I've been really impressed and love the idea that even though they're winning 4-0 and there's only 10 minutes in the match, they're still trying to score goals.
Good run there by Bevins. Frater cuts in, looking back post. Flag will be up on McFarland. Hoffman and Velasquez sitting on braces. Hoffman's night's done. He was taken out to give a little bit more defensive presence as Taylor Pay was brought on.
Mark Briggs signaling to keep that back four tight and let the two holding midfielders in Beasler and Adams and Velasquez, whoever that may be, to really stay close in the middle of the field, sitting right on top of that back four.
Looks like Phillips and Heber gonna get a talking to. Enough's enough, says Joseph Dickerson. Monarchs gonna leave this one for Adams. Adams is gonna perfectly weight a ball.
What a great ball.
To the far side to Karinga. Karinga playing 45 minutes tonight. Subbed on at half for Tony Beltran.
And I think he's done well so far. As you can see, he's gotten himself forward. He's created space for himself, although being in that right back position, you have to pick and choose your times to go forward. But I think he's done a great job since coming on exactly in the middle of the game, really.
Yeah, and he's a player that's used to starting matches. And so you always wonder, is the mentality going to be different? Is it harder going to get into the game if you don't start? But again, that's what separates the good players from the great ones, is they're able to just step in regardless of the minute and play as if they had started the match.
Burt defended well by Brody. It'll be a throw-in for Colorado Springs. Looks like Monarchs are going to make a change here momentarily. Bevins looks to whip it in with the side volley.
A bit of a hopeful ball there from Bevins. He had time to take his defender on 1v1. Instead, he elects to just hit a very tough ball first time. Nothing becomes of it, and that's what I'm talking about when creating opportunities for Switchbacks FC. You have to be able to create the correct chances, not just dump hopeful balls in.
Haber up top by himself. Brody moving forward. Nice weighted ball to Brody. Brody's defended by 3. He'll slow it up, looking to Haber. Haber's gonna try to go at it himself. Haber with the shot and a goal! Daniel Haber finds the back of the net in the 83rd minute of play to go along with his 2 assists.
He receives a standing ovation for that one. Beautiful placement right in the upper corner of the net. I don't know if you find more beautiful shots than that.
His second goal in as many games, and Daniel Haber, I'll tell you what, I love that celebration, but nonetheless, he deserves a goal tonight. As we watch that again, he opens up his hips, gets past his defender, and just tries to curl on it. Takes a deflection off Phillips. Nothing Poiti could do about that. Daniel Haber's been fantastic for me tonight, and he deserves that goal more than anything.
Oh, definitely. And look, you see 1, 2, 3, 4 players before he shoots that ball. It's a sign of a true striker, able to take the ball even with pressure around you.
Haber's night is done. Can we call that a walk-off? Daniel Haber, wrong sport, guys. Daniel Haber, 84 minutes of soccer, 1 goal, 2 assists.
Well, if you're going to come out, you might as well score right before coming out, right?
Jonel Desiree played 30 minutes of soccer. He'll enter the match here and hopefully provide that stretching ability for the Monarchs.
And noticing that last run, as soon as Haber got out wide and cut back in, center back Jordan Burt and Phillips, they just look tired. Quite honestly, I think they've just been under so much pressure this entire match that attack after attack after attack. Quite honestly, I think they're getting tired of defending. And Haber and Velasquez and Hoffman, you name it, have really made them pay.
Yeah, and
tonight.
You didn't see that in the Colorado Springs game earlier in the season. The Monarchs weren't as dangerous up top and obviously weren't able to get the outcome that they wanted for that game. But, you know, massive changes and improvements for the Monarchs. Losing last time they played this game and then now scoring 5 goals.
Fans, make sure you tune into the USL's weekly show on Sirius XM FC. Channel 85 on Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern for the latest news and information from around the league. Also, don't forget, Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Check USLsoccer.com for dates and times. That's Sirius XM FC on Channel 85. 86 minute, 5-1. Oh, a nice opportunity there for Bevins, kept in by Perez. Defended well by the Monarchs. Going to be a foul as Taylor Pay hits the turf. We're going to look at that foul inside the box.
Pay does a really good job before this just to really keep the ball in front of him, and his positioning between him, the ball, and the goal was fantastic as he draws the foul.
Monarchs now, the last 5 minutes of the match, you can see them all starting to drop back. I'm sure that's instruction from coach. Tell them at this point, it's just all about time management. You're up 5-1, which is a great cushion, great place to be in. But nonetheless, you don't want to give anything up.
Ball's whipped in. Frater's going to find the back of the net. Carla spoke just a touch too soon.
Maybe it's the commentator's curse, right?
Kayvon Frater comes back to Rio Tinto Stadium and finds the back of the net in the 87th minute of play.
Seems like the Monarchs defense there just kind of fell asleep. You get a little complacent against you're in the last minutes of the game, and the Monarchs defense not really in the shape that they wanted to, not able to get up on that header.
Great ball played in there by Pugh, and we talked about it earlier, that hopeful ball played in by Frater, or to Frater, I should say. He gets his head on that one and tucks home his team's second goal of the match.
And while it's not, the score is not what the Switchbacks probably want, probably feels good for Frater to be able to get a goal on his old team.
Desiree up there by himself. Defended by 3, trying to take everybody on. Brody there with the sliding challenge. Moberg to Beasler. Monarchs trying to lock this one up. Desiree on his horse. He'll get under it. Defended by Burtz. Take it in the corner, and he's going to win a corner kick for the Monarchs. Beautiful job there by Desiree to win the corner kick for the Monarchs.
Yeah, good hold-up play from him. You know, if you're head coach Mark Briggs, you kind of have to be a little bit disappointed about giving up that second goal. They did the same thing against Reno a few weeks back here at Rio Tinto, where they got so far ahead, then they let Reno back into the game, and they just couldn't finish the game off in the last 5-10 minutes maybe. And they kept giving up goals, and they do it again here tonight. That's something that maybe needs to be discussed, really, just to close out the game, just to finish it out. And like Carla, like you said, the time management is such a big thing. I know you've got 5 goals. I know you're still up by 3, but still, you don't want to concede at any point.
No, definitely. And you wonder here, it's a little bit of skirmishes between the two teams. You wonder about how much of that has to do with time management as well.
Monarchs going to take the free kick, looking to win another one. Little scuffle down there. Pay will bring it down with his chest, plays it back to Sparrow.
And I think we should mention here in the booth with us is my husband, Daniel Haslam. And the only reason I bring that up is because today is his 26th birthday. So for all those, his Twitter handle is @DanHas. Find him, Daniel Haslam. Wish him a happy birthday. He's one of the biggest Monarch Real Salt Lake fans here. So
Ball's out wide for Colorado Springs.
I'm sure he'd appreciate that.
Suggs going to get it back. Karinga's defending him well. That'll be a foul. And a free kick for the Monarchs. You know, guys, if I had to pick a man of the match, multiple guys.
Oh, it's so difficult.
With braces, 2 guys with braces. But I'm going to have to go with another guy that's a birthday boy tonight, Daniel Haber. A goal and 2 assists, and he's my man of the match tonight.
You know, I'd have to agree with you. Haber just does a great job, not only just scoring the goal, but he's an active player. He's playing defense. He's getting opportunities in front of the goal. Haber is one of those players that I just see his career exploding. And why not? Perfect for a birthday, right? That's a great omen for his career.
4th official holds up the board. 2 minutes of stoppage announced. Could have been a lot more. This game's pretty well closed up shop. Adams, Velasquez, maybe he'll try to go get his hat trick. Frater, the nice touch there. Frater with the shot. He'll spray it wide of the post. Decent opportunity.
Well, Velasquez was in the USL Team of the Week this week, and so you think with 2 goals and possibly a 3, and maybe the last 2 minutes of the game, if he can get that hat trick, would definitely qualify him for that.
Sparrow gonna take his time to get this one restarted. 5-2, Monarchs lead. On a night of goals, Hoffman, Velasquez, and Haber. 30th, 51st, 54th, 57th, and 83rd as Sparrow comes out. Long touch there by Lakowecki. Wow, you gotta love the effort there by Lakowecki to get up, play on the ground, do a little turn.
How about
hit pretty hard.
A crunching hit as he gets up, and he still wins the ball, shaking his head a little bit. It didn't look like it felt very good.
Colorado Springs pushing a lot still, putting a lot of pressure on the Monarchs. Trying to get some goals back. Monarchs will move to 8-1-0 on the season.
And undefeated at home.
24 points. Velasquez tries to keep it in. And the final whistle is blown here at the Riot. Monarchs move to 8-1-0. 23 points on the season. Colorado Springs falls to 3-4-4 on the season. 13 points and 4th in the West. An exciting soccer game and a rivalry renewed. Monarchs got the revenge they sought after in a beautiful display of goals from them.
And a big second half there from them. They came out guns blazing with those 3 goals. Quick, very, very quick. Daniel Haber, like you said, I'm going to go with you. I'm going to say he's the man of the match.
He's
2 assists, and I'll go, he's the birthday boy. Who doesn't want to score on their birthday? I thought he did well. I thought he provided for his team. He created space, got his goal at the end to come off the field. I thought he was great tonight.
Well, Haber and Hoffman, talk about a dynamic duo. The two just know exactly where the other's going to be, and it's fun to watch Haber run down the sidelines and then get in across to Hoffman. It's beautiful for the soccer fan to watch.
Beautiful soccer played by the Monarchs this season. They're really a new team with new light as we see an opportunity to check out one of the replays of the Haber goal that took a deflection. Lucky deflection, but when you're the birthday boy, you deserve those deflections. But like I was saying, this Monarchs team really has built off the success that Freddie Juarez gave them early on in their history, and they've now become a force to be reckoned with in the USL.
No, definitely. And we talk about the differences between these 2 seasons, and it's incredible the amount of progression they make, but also the chemistry between this team is something that we didn't see in the years prior, essentially because the USL is comprised of such an eclectic group of players. But it's so awesome to see the Monarchs playing together and getting a lot of goals.
Both teams really in different situations Colorado coming off their third consecutive loss in the USL, had a midweek game, and tired legs maybe of resulting in that 5 scoreline on their side.
And I think roughly around the 60th minute or so, you really started to see that. They weren't very efficient in the final third. They weren't applying as much pressure. I mentioned the center backs were even tired. They were under so much pressure from the wide balls getting played in. Sebastian Velasquez running right down the middle at him. I think it was a lot of tired legs, and I think they'll be pretty happy to get back to Colorado Springs.
Beautiful game played by Velasquez and Hoffman, both with the brace tonight, and both continue on that pace of 6 goals, tied for the lead of the Monarchs, Sebastian Velasquez and Hoffman.
At this point, if you're Coach Mark Briggs, you're telling your team, keep doing exactly what you're doing, keep eating exactly what you're eating, and keep going to bed at the exact same time, because the team is playing well. The biggest key is to stay consistent. It's a long season. We're going to keep going until the end of October, and then they'll have tournament at that point. So there's still a lot of games to be played. What's most important is that the team's able to stay healthy.
Monarchs head on the road next week. Next Sunday, they'll take on the Whitecaps too. Then another game on the road, then back home here on June 10th. So they've got a little bit of a challenge coming in front of them, playing hot. They are the hottest team in the USL this season, and guys like Velasquez and Hoffman are contributing to that.
Absolutely.
Thank you for tuning in tonight. Thank you to our broadcast crew, making things possible, our camera crew, those in the booth next door, making things happen. I'm Landon Southwick, joined alongside my wonderful partners, Taryn Meyer and Carla Haslam, and we'll sign off here from Rio Tinto Stadium and say see you next time.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from the United Soccer League.